that I am on a quest to uncover all of the hidden gems that the world's cuisines have to offer. And today we are off to explore the wonderful world of Chinese food. Chinese cuisine is known for its incredible diversity, with 8 distinct regional styles of cooking. We will be focusing our attention on one of these styles today, Sichuan cuisine. This style is characterized by its bold and spicy flavors, making it a favorite among many. But enough talk. Let's get straight into it. We're starting off with an absolute classic dish that everyone loves: sweet and sour pork. This dish consists of fried pork pieces coated in a sweet and sour sauce. The pork is usually crispy on the outside and juicy on the inside. And the sauce is tangy, a little spicy, and incredibly flavorful. It's often served with rice or noodles, and is perfect for a quick and easy meal. Now, let's take a look at the ingredients for this recipe. First, we need some pork. I'll be using 2 pounds of pork loin for this recipe, but feel free to use any cut of pork that you like. Just make sure to cut it into bite-sized pieces. Next, we'll need some cornstarch and egg. This will be used to coat the pork and help it to become crispy when fried. For the coating, I'll be using half a cup of cornstarch and 1 egg. Next, we need some oil for frying the pork. I'll be using about 3 cups of neutral flavored oil like canola oil or rice oil. To give the pork that crispy texture, we'll also need some salt and pepper to season the pork to perfection. I'll be using about half a teaspoon of salt and 1/4 teaspoon of black vinegar. And now, let's move on to the sauce. The sauce is what makes this dish truly special. It's sweet, sour, spicy, and tangy all at the same time. To make the sauce, we'll need some sugar, rice, vinegar, garlic, ginger, soy sauce, and chili powder. We'll also need some water and cornstarch to thicken the sauce. Feel free to adjust the amount of sugar and vinegar to your own liking, depending on how sweet and sour you want the sauce to be. I'll be using 3 tablespoons of sugar, 2 tablespoons of rice vinegar, 1 tablespoon of garlic, 1 tablespoon of ginger, 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, and 1/4 teaspoon of chili powder. For the garnish, we'll need some chopped green onions and some sesame seeds for that rich, toasty flavor. And now that we have all of our ingredients ready, we can start cooking. The first step is to prepare the pork. Cut the pork into 1-inch cubes and then place them in a bowl. Add the cornstarch and egg, then mix well to coat the pork evenly. This will help the pork to become crispy when fried and will also help it to hold its shape. Season the pork with salt and black vinegar bits well to ensure that the pork is evenly seasoned. Next, heat the oil in a large skillet or wok over medium-high heat. Once the oil is hot, add the pork in a single layer, taking care not to overcrowd the pan. Fry the pork for about 3 to 4 minutes or until golden brown and cooked through. We don't want to overcook the pork at this stage, so be careful not to fry it for too long. Once the pork is cooked through, remove it from the pan and set it aside. While the pork is frying, we can start preparing the sauce. In a small bowl, combine the sugar, rice, vinegar, garlic, ginger, soy sauce, chili powder, and water. Mix well to combine all of the ingredients. Then slowly whisk in the cornstarch until it is fully dissolved. This will help to thicken the sauce. Next, bring the sauce to a boil over medium heat. Once the sauce is boiling, add the fried pork and toss to coat it in the sauce. Continue to fry the pork for another minute or two, or until it is crispy and the sauce has thickened. Be careful not to burn the sauce, or else your pork will become dry. Once the pork is crispy and the sauce is thickening, we can start preparing the garnish. Chop up some green onions and set them aside. Also, don't forget to grab your sesame seeds. Once the sauce has thickened to your liking, we can plate the dish. Serve the sweet and sour pork over steamed rice or noodles. Top it with the chopped green onions and sesame seeds and enjoy. The best part about sweet and sour pork is that it is incredibly versatile. You can easily adjust the recipe to make it your own. For example, you can add vegetables such as broccoli, carrots, or bell peppers. You can also adjust the amount of sugar and vinegar in the sauce to your own liking. If you like it sweeter, add more sugar. If you like it more sour, add more vinegar. You can also adjust the amount of spice in the dish by adding more or less chili powder. And if you're looking for a healthier version of this dish, you can bake the pork instead of frying it. To do this, simply preheat your oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit and line a baking sheet with parchment paper. Then spread the pork out on the baking sheet and bake it for 20 to 25 minutes, or until it is cooked through and slightly crispy. You can also air fry the pork. Simply preheat your air fryer to 400 degrees Fahrenheit and spray it with some cooking spray. Then add the pork and cook it for 10 to 12 minutes or until it is cooked through and crispy. Another variation of this dish is to use chicken or tofu instead of pork. To make sweet and sour chicken, simply follow the same recipe but use chicken breast instead of pork. And to make sweet and sour tofu, you can follow the same recipe but use firm tofu instead of pork. Sweet and sour pork is a dish that is loved by people all over the world. It's easy to see why. With its crispy pork, sweet and sour sauce, and fluffy white rice, it is a dish that is both delicious and satisfying. Whether you are a fan of Chinese food or are just looking for a new dish to try, sweet and sour pork is definitely worth a try. So go ahead and give this recipe a try, and let me know in the comments below what you think. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe for more content. And if you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to turn on notifications. Thanks for watching. Until next time.